I'm going to the mechanics, please.
You just service a van, so I want to it now.
You know, so the Administrator General Department transfer right back to me. Yeah, I'm going to check it out again itself, because it reminds me too much time.
The lady did say something about the administration process. You get it already?
Yeah, man. I'm seeing out noticing in the papers, the persons are relying for them to come forward, but nobody makes a claim. And because I am the proven spouse, them transfer the vehicle to me. Yeah, and you know the lady tell me, say, them the motor vehicle transfer to spouse, where the motor vehicle is the only asset in the estate, and it's privately owned.
So hold on. You're AGD ambassador because you know everything we are going down there?
No, man. Them help me when I need it, you know. So we have to share the good news with others.
Okay,
Yeah. So when you're ready, you can come. All right?
Welcome back, Sunrisers. So it's time for another installment of the Dead Leff series. And now we know that bereavement can be overwhelming and navigating asset transfers can add to that stress, right? But the AGD is working to ensure that qualified persons can receive their asset in a timely manner, making the process a little smoother. So Administrator General and Administrator General's Department CEO, Stacie-Ann Carty, is back with us to share more information. Welcome back, Stacie-Ann.
Thank you.
How are you? Good to have you.
I'm well.
Nice to have you back. Nice to have you back. An important topic. We've covered some very interesting, very important topics. This week, we're talking about an asset that is far more common, because some people might not have land, but they have one vehicle. Somebody, it's in somebody's name, not in another person's name. It's a primary mode of transport. How frequent do you see this happening?
Every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every day.
I thought so.
Every day.
I thought so.
Yeah, because as you said, it happens. So both of us are married, I die, but the vehicle is in my name. This is a vehicle that you use to transport the children to school, to go to the supermarket, everyday life activities.
It needs to insure.
You went to the insurance company and they said, no, miss, you don't own the property, you cannot insure it.
Yeah.
As you said, registration, fitness, you can't do these things unless it's in your name.
Right.
And so persons come to us all the time to say, how can we help them? And what we do, it's a very minimal fee. It's just $2,000. And they come in, complete the form of particulars that we went through in one of the early episodes that tells us everything. Who you are to the deceased, what do they own, what do they owe? And we have to know that as well. And we go through, and if this is the only asset that the person had, and they use it for what we call social and domestic purposes. So if you used to use it to run a taxi, no. If you used to use it to transport goods in the little business shop, no. It has to be just for social and domestic purposes. You bring in all the vehicle documents, you show that you're the spouse, which we went through before. So you know you have your marriage certificate or your declaration, and it's a same-day process. We can do it same day if it's really urgent, but if it is not really urgent, it might take you about 2 weeks. And we instruct the tax office to transfer it to your name.
You mentioned, you know, what you owe. In the case of the motor vehicle situation, why do I need to show what the person owed?
So we have to always remember, debt follows you through to death, right? And so we have to make sure that the person doesn't owe anybody, because think about it this way. I gave you a little loan, and you die. Would it be reasonable for us to be transferring your assets to somebody else and not pay off the debt that is owed? No, because if there's debt, you really need to sell the asset and clear the debt.
So in this case, it would, just to finish the point, so the car can't be necessarily transferred to the spouse automatically, because it may be needed to clear up
other business
debts on the estate.
Correct.
So question for you, is there a difference in procedure if there are minors that are in the estate? So, you know, does it have to be treated differently by the administration?
Yes. So once there are minors in the estate, we are going to take it on and administer it like any other estate, do a thorough investigation, and so it wouldn't be an automatic transfer to the spouse. We're going to as all the other processes that we spoke about weeks gone, we're going to have to do it. Because we found that sometimes persons don't always declare the full truth on the form, and so we have to get down into the belly of everything to truly investigate. Are there other children? You might just say there's one, but are there others? Are there other assets? And so we do a full investigation once they're minors.
I'm curious because again, these are real things happening in real time. So mommy passed away and there is a vehicle and the children have to go all the way to Moroska Road for school and need the vehicle. I can't help the fact that the insurance and registration and everything up. What is the turnaround time? How quickly does the AGD's office move in this matter?
So the reason I said it can be the same day, it can be 2 weeks, it depends on which office you go to. We have an office in Montego Bay.
Okay.
All those transactions, though, are processed in Kingston. So the documents do have to get to Kingston.
Okay.
And so it really depends on which office you go to, but at maximum it should take you about 2 weeks.
I can't help but ask, I have to wonder, like when you're doing these processes, right? The instances where you book up fraud, where you broke up. Well, broke up. But there are altercations, there are theft. What happens in those instances?
Theft. Well, that's not something we can guard against. But I can tell you what happens generally with motor vehicles. We spoke about it before. That it's a movable asset. Eh? You can't really take up the house and move it for most houses, but you can move a motor vehicle. So you could determine that, well, I don't want the spouse to get it. I'm the brother, and we were close, and I didn't even like the spouse anyway. And so sometimes the vehicle, as you said, goes missing. And so those are things that practically have a consideration that you have to think about. But the police would have to come into play there. So what we do, just to let you know, and we're doing our regular estate, is that we do search the motor vehicle registry. So that's the central repository of all motor vehicles to see what did the person own. Just as how we search the banks, we do also search the motor vehicle registry because persons don't always tell us the full story.
You know, are there other assets like this that, not just motor vehicles, but other assets that are, I mean, not real estate, but that the AGD helps to transfer upon the death of a person that, you know, with a certain immediacy, that you know, it's similarly to this?
No, and the reason motor vehicles are a special class is that it's depreciating, right? And so what happened to the vehicle when it sits there for a year, 16 months, nothing is happening to it, not being driven, it's going to deteriorate. And so that's why a special consideration is made to this asset, the class, because legally, you have to wait until the entire process happens to start distributing an asset.
Okay. So
we don't want it to lose value. That's the difficulty.
But ultimately, you know, when we're having these conversations, there's a way to put affairs in order that we don't end up upside down like this.
Correct.
And the ultimate best advice that you can give is?
You can have joint ownership. So say both of you have the vehicle together. It doesn't have to be in your name alone, Dennis. You can go to the motor vehicle registry and you can put your end's name on it or whomever it is. You can own assets jointly. And so we don't just talk about wills in estate planning. We talk about having beneficiaries on accounts, beneficiaries on insurance policies. We talk about joint ownership of assets. Those are some of the things that we need to talk about as a country so that we, as you said, things don't get turned upside down because death, as much as we don't like to talk about it, and the end they said she's living to 100, but at 101 she may not be here. So at some point,
and she's going to leave a few vehicles behind even at 101, so definitely. Thank you as always. Thank you as always. Stacie-Ann Carty has been our guest. She is the CEO of the Administrator General's Department, which makes her the Administrator General. There's more Sunrise after the break, but don't go anywhere. Hold on a second. I smell something.
Wait a minute.
I smell something. Excuse us. So earlier we had this is the final product. Can we get a camera shot, please? Oh, there you go. There you go. And it's still warm.
Oh, wait a minute. Can't be one set of cutlery. Wait.
No, don't worry.
Oh, are we going to rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you're going to take your
I
plastic?
got a spare.
All right.
So, like, go for the couscous?
Yes. You said you really like